today and your willingness to serve. Mr. Velez-Green, I appreciated the conversation a few weeks ago in the office. There's been lots of complaints prior to Tuesday and today from my fellow Republicans about a series of issues. I think they all really boil down to communication. I need a firm commitment from you that if my staff or I reach out to you, that I'll hear not just from Office of Legislative Affairs, but I'll hear from you personally in your personal office if we inquire.
Senator, I am prepared to give you that commitment as well as to other members of this committee.
So that is a yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Talk about presidential drawdown, or the fourth presidential drawdown authority in regards to Taiwan. Is that on hold?
Senator, candidly, I'm not sure the current status. I would say I have been one of a very prominent and strong advocate for Army Taiwan and making sure they have what's required to defend themselves. I think that's vitally important, not just as a matter of fairness, but also, frankly, from an operational perspective. And if confirmed, you have my strong commitment to continue to advocate to that effect, including by providing options up to higher leadership for their consideration, PDA being one of them.
Thank you.
But is it on hold?
Senator,
Was that the question?
Yes. Is the fourth presidential drawdown authority a package for Taiwan on hold?
Senator, I'm not sure of the current status, and I'd be happy to share as much as possible while, again, respecting my chain of command.
Thank you. Much has been said about the PRC's objectives in Latin America. What's your assessment of the national security implications of China's reach into the Western Hemisphere? And specifically, as you think about the defense policy of countering cartels, how could DoD simultaneously address the PRC's inroads in Latin America? So 2 birds, 1 stone.
Senator, thank you for the question. In terms of, I'd offer two responses, if I may. One is a question of deconfliction and making sure that as we are resourcing the requirements to execute the department's strategy in line with the President's instructions in the Western Hemisphere, we are also resourcing the requirements to maintain deterrence in the Western Pacific, including soft elements, for instance, that I know are important for North Carolina. With respect to the Western Hemisphere, my view is that this is a multi-pronged effort. I think part of this is with the United States more decisively engaging in the hemisphere of the Department of War, especially. I think that's a very clear signal to partners across the region that this is a priority, that we are leaning forward in ways that the past administration did not, and that as an extension, we are paying more attention. We are provided to work more closely and in different ways than may have been in the past, and so they have opportunities to step up with us in that regard, including by not doing certain things that could be detrimental to our national security, such as engaging with China in certain ways in this hemisphere. I think the Panama Canal instance is a very clear example of the President's intent and how the Department of War and other agencies worked to that effect.
I hope to see that increased engagement, so thank you for your answer. Dr. Todd, if confirmed, how will you judge our strategic readiness to prevail in a conflict with China?
Senator, I think our strategic readiness is critical to understanding how we can deter China and meet our strategic objectives in the Indo-PACOM AOR. I think we would basically continue to gather the readiness data available to us based on the training, education, equipping, and manning of the services. We will look at their preparation for meeting the contingency plans from the Joint Staff and the Geographic Combatant Commanders. We would assess their success from their deployments to meet those mission requirements, and then have a feedback loop to then determine in the future will those capabilities be available to deter China based on their past performance and what we need to do to better prepare them for the future.
So, and what metrics would you use to evaluate the readiness of the joint force?
Well, Senator, there are a number of metrics. I'm not familiar with the specific ones now, but I would take a close look at the contingency planning that we have for Indo-PACOM AOR, what we see as our key objectives and our key threats and challenges. And then as we would run both service-specific and joint exercises, we would then be able to gather the right kind of data, look at assessing that data, and then ensuring that we are taking the right lessons learned to reapply to the preparation of our forces to so that they can better execute their missions against China.
Thank you very much. Chairman?